Hello, all of you beautiful people around the world. My name is Ryan, aka Say It With Me, Blackbeard TCG. Hopefully you guys are all having an amazing day, and if not, hopefully I can make it a little bit better. Now, look, first and foremost, thanks to everybody that's been subscribing. The channel has been blowing up as of late, and your boy is going to be continuing to be bringing you that quality content. Today, we're going to be talking about power creep. What is power creep? For those of you that are unaware, I'm sure you guys all know what it is. It's a buzzword, but let's just recap it real quick. It's the situation where new content or features make older ones obsolete or relevant, creating an imbalance and a loss of diversity in the game. Now, I know that some people get triggered, some people get upset. So I know that before when I brought it up, somebody in the comment was like, oh, well, you might as well not play card games. You might as well not play the One Piece trading card game because, you know, there's going to be power creep. There's power creep in every game. So if you get upset at it, then just don't play. Like, I hate when people have that black and white mindset or like that all or nothing mindset. Like people can't discuss things. Like acknowledging that power creep is a thing is completely fine. And in this video, I'm not going to be complaining about power creep. In fact, if anything, I'm kind of for it. And I'll explain a little bit why as we continue to go on throughout the video. But for me, I think that now in OPO5, we are at that point where we're seeing power creep. So what do I mean by that? And again, we're still at the very early stages. We're just looking at One Piece top decks right now. But of course, you could take a look at the various articles that are posted in Japan. You can look at some of the people that are based out of Thailand on Facebook and other members of the community in Singapore and Malaysia that are also posting on Facebook and Twitter and things of that nature. And you're able to see what the meta is kind of developing as for OPO5 thus far. And you'll notice that a lot of the top decks are going to be the new leaders, be it Purple Luffy, be it Enel, Yellow Enel, which is a deck that I've been picking up. And by the way, I will be live streaming tomorrow, testing out some Enels. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Have notifications on, subscribe and like the video as well. But definitely have those notifications on so you guys can see when I go live. But then on top of that as well, you have Black and Blue Sakazuki. You also have things like Bello Betty, right? But then you have the decks that kind of stick around, right? The Zoro and the Law. And we'll get to that. But as you can see, a lot of the decks that are topping are going to be these newer leaders. So to this, I say, is this power creep? And is it good? So for me, I would say yes. This is the power creep, right? Now, let's circle back. Why am I saying that this is power creep? Let's go ahead and take a look at all of the leaders from OPO4, the set that we're at right now in English, right? So OPO4, let's go ahead and search all leaders. Just in case you guys forgot. I know we just got these leaders, but out of all these leaders, the only leader that people are now playing again is Queen. Outside of that, there's no OPO4 leaders. So Rebecca, which is one of the top decks in OPO4 right now in our format, nowhere to be seen in OPO5. Isho was a deck that people thought could have potential. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found in OPO4 to be fair, but nowhere to be found in OPO5. No support for him. Doflamingo, a deck that's seen a lot of play. Why is nobody playing him in this set? Crocodile, Vivi, these were leaders that didn't really stand a chance, and if they didn't stand a chance then, they're definitely not going to stand a chance now because these new leaders are just that much better. But it's not just this set. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at previous sets as well? We can go ahead and take a look at, I don't know, let's take a look at OPO3. In OPO3, obviously this Portgasti ace that got neutered, for us at least over here in the West with the ban list, you know, not to the fault of Ace, but to the fault of Zoro and Whitebeard. But what about the Ace Blue cards? What about Kuro, Arlong, Nami? And now some people would say Nami doesn't need any more assistance, or Nami might be getting some more assistance with the new blue cards that are going to be coming out in the future that we know of. But with that being said, Arlong, Kuro, East Blue, is that it? Are we not getting any more support? How about Iceberg? Iceberg got some more support on OPO4, but the deck is still utter garbage. So for me, like there's a little bit of a nuance to this as well, because I know somebody else is probably right now typing and they're like, oh, I'm gonna say this to Ryan and prove him wrong, and it's gonna be a gotcha moment. I know somebody's gonna say, Ryan, do you want every single deck to be broken? Do you want every single deck to be S tier, A tier, etc., etc.? No, I'm not saying that at all. In fact, what I am saying is that I believe that if you look at other games, right? You have to look logically. Look at Yu-Gi-Oh, for example. Look at all of the archetypes that Yu-Gi-Oh has. You'd be a fool if you said, well, I want every single archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh to be a valid deck. You'd be a fool. You can look at any card game and say that, and you'd be a fool if you said that. So you would also be a fool if you said you want every single leader to be viable and compete at the highest level. It's not going to happen, okay? So I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that these new leaders are the flavor of the month. Well, not the month, but like the quarter, let's say, because it seems like we're getting a box every quarter at this point. So we have that sprinkled in with a little bit of Zoro and a little bit of Law. Now, I'm not going to harp on the Law because I've said this multiple times. Law breaks the game. So I think Law will always be meta. There'll never be a world where Law is not meta. I don't really need to harp on that. And Zoro, we already need to like just go past it because we've talked about it so much in the past. Those two leaders will always somewhat find a place. But what about these other leaders? You know, Sanji's not really getting too much shine. Zephyr has some tools. Magellan got some new tools with Purple, right? Purple got some new toys, but it's not quite there yet. Garp has seen absolutely zero synergy with any cards that were released, basically from OPO 2 till currently. So there's a lot of underused leaders from OPO 2, and I don't really even need to get into OPO 1 because the one leader that we all need to talk about as well is King. This card absolutely sucks completely. Even with all of the new additions of Purple, this deck is still utter garbage. So again, there's all these leaders that are just not good at all. There's no purpose in playing them. Why would I ever want to play King? Why would I ever want to play Kaido, a deck that was really good? Probably the best purple deck that we've had since the new purple leaders, right? Why would I want to play that when I could, oh, by the way, hold on, I said Kaido, and look at that, OP Singles, there's only 2 Kaidos left. Go ahead and check out opsingles.com for 5% off using discount code BBTCG. Link is down below in the description, and if you guys want to check out some alternate arts, it's there right now. Go ahead and pick them up. There's only 2 Kaidos left. I actually picked up my Kaidos. I had to pick them up before I uploaded the video because I didn't want other people to buy it, and then it got sold out, so you know. And how did you guys like that transition? But it's funny because I showed blue Kaido, but we're talking about purple Kaido. But Purple Kaido was probably the best Kaido. I do this all in one take, you feel me? Purple Kaido was probably the best purple deck up until we got this guy here. Mono Purple Luffy, who's an absolute beast. So now there's no point in really playing Kaido. You still can play Kaido. Some people are actually playing Kaido in OPO 5. But Mono Purple Luffy is just the best purple leader, period. Like, I don't even think that's subjective at this point. I think it's just objective fact that Mono Purple Luffy is the best purple leader. So why would you play any other purple leader unless you just want to have fun? Maybe has a cool mechanic like Iceberg, but Iceberg is just so terrible. So what I believe needs to happen personally, like I'm fine with this power creep. In fact, like it's funny because I'm talking bad about power creep, but I'm actually completely fine in my opinion with it being the flavor of the format, right? Basically having the new leaders be the flavor of the format, and you sprinkle in some of the old decks. Now, I would like to not see Law, I would like to not see Zoro, of course. I would like to see some of the older leaders get some love so that they get bumped up. I'm always a proponent of, rather than nerfing everything down to the same level, I'd rather bump things up to also get to the same level as other things. So I'm fine with Eno, I'm fine with Sakazuki, I'm fine with Purple Luffy being strong, but let's also bump up some of the other decks and the other upcoming formats, because a lot of these archetypes just already seem forgotten and they just seem like they're just going to be bad going forward forever. And so for me, if OPO 6 comes out and those leaders are now the new meta, I'm completely fine with that, because when you think about it, the leader cards themselves, unless you want to get alt arts, the leader cards themselves are dirt cheap, right? Like literally pennies on the dollar. And so the actual components, the main cards, those will carry through set after set, right? If you played blue and you invested in your Mihawks from set 1, they're still valued until set 5 right now. Sakazuki is playing them, right? So those cards will always hold value. You don't have to worry about that. It's just the leader and the playstyle that will be shifted. And so that's why for me, I'm completely fine with it, but I want to see other archetypes get stronger. And if we take a look at this, I don't know if it's 100% confirmed yet, but it looks like the Memorial Collection extra booster box that we'll be getting in May of next year is going to be bringing us some new cards in Dressrosa, Baroque Works, and Impel Down. So maybe this will boost those decks that are struggling, that aren't seeing that much play. Again, I would love to see Animal Kingdom Pirates Purple. I know we got Animal Kingdom Pirates Blue, but I would like to see Animal Kingdom Pirates Purple to give King some love. Like, come on, like give King some love. Like King is such a cool character and he's just resorted to garbage in this game, but that's my bias of characters that I enjoy. But regardless, seeing this alone has already made me happy because it's like, okay, this is a step in the right direction because it's doing exactly of what I said, right? Like potentially these new Dressrosa cards, these new Baroque Works cards, these new Impel Down cards can bump up some of these more mid to low tier decks to maybe being in contention of the flavor of the format decks, right? Last format, or our current format, we had the flavor of Doflamingo, Queen, as well as Rebecca. Now not so much in this format. For Asia, right now it's Enel, Sakazuki, Purple Luffy, and who knows? Next set, it could be Blackbeard if we get a Blackbeard leader. Am I right, guys? No, I'm coping? Maybe. But with all of that being said, I'm extremely curious about your thoughts. Why don't you let me know in the comment section below? Do you agree with me? Do you guys think that this is power creep that we're seeing right before our eyes? And also on top of that, are you fine with the flavor of the season power creep, right? Like these leaders are strong. Next set, the new leaders are strong. We can still use our old cards, just pick up the commons, the uncommons, and maybe a couple SRs and keep the ball rolling, right? It keeps us purchasing products anyways. I mean, we're going to buy product regardless, but then also it keeps things fresh with these new leaders and then slowly bump up some of the previous leaders with these extra booster boxes. Do you guys like power creep in this way? Do you guys think that this isn't power creep at all and people are just bored of the old stuff? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm super curious. I'll make sure to like your comment after I read it so you know I actually read it. And with that being said, love you all. Make sure to subscribe. All right? And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.